Hello everyone and welcome to my Bachelor Nation 24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The Golden Bachelorette, Chock Chapple should be careful. He may trust his fiancée Joan Vassos too much. The Golden Bachelorette star Chock Chapple seems to adore his beautiful fiancée Joan Chapple, and the hopeless romantic in Chock may be leading him astray, as it's possible that she doesn't care as much as he does. In relationships, sometimes one partner loves and the other is loved. This dynamic can work for a while, but ultimately, if there's no balance, a romance will probably die. While Joan gushes about Chock and seems physically attracted to him, there's always the chance that her secret thoughts and feelings are more complicated. The Golden Bachelorette's Joan Vassos is a woman who has lived, and she's got a lot on her plate. She remembers the wrenching pain of losing her husband Joan Vassos to pancreatic cancer. She was traumatized by his diagnosis. Watching someone she loved die was excruciating. That happened 4 years ago, and she still loves him. As she feels that love, she tries to love someone new. That is a tall order. Some people can't move on after that kind of loss. Although John would want Joan to be happy, she probably feels disloyal sometimes, even though she isn't. Meanwhile, Chock, who does everything right, from fixing Joan's closet to cooking with her to spending most of his time with her, may be too emotionally invested in a woman that he doesn't fully understand. Yes, he's loved and lost too. So, in a sense, they're in the same boat. However, Joan still seems very involved with her past. Her late husband is in her heart, and she makes that clear. On Thanksgiving, she even went on TikTok to share her sadness over his passing. Since she's so openly connected to John as she and Chock house hunt in New York City and plan out their futures, there may be a part of her that is still living in the past. Recently, she and Chock prepared a tailgate-style pork dish together, and although it seemed fun, there was one strange moment that told another story. When Chock started putting garlic cloves in the pork shoulder, Joan chastised him for doing it the wrong way. He looked embarrassed. Sometimes, these minor breaches of etiquette say a lot, and when they happen while the cameras roll, it can be a red flag. If Joan will criticize her man publicly, while the world is watching, then maybe she's harsher in private. If Chock, whom Pascal Abdu considered controlling, is too in love with Joan and too trusting, he may be in for heartbreak. Even her mildest critiques could make him feel so alone. Chock seems romantic, classy, and committed to his partner. In fact, it seems like he'll do anything for the life blonde that he loves. Unfortunately, when someone gives themselves to another person like this, they can be hurt. Since Chock lost his late fiancée to brain cancer, he has already suffered. Hopefully, Joan will be gentle with Chock. The well-dressed man who treats her like a queen on and off screen is someone that she should treasure. Chock Chapple, a fan favorite on The Golden Bachelorette, has always prided himself on his unwavering sense of trust and optimism. From the moment he stepped out of the limo to meet Joan Vassos, the sparks were undeniable. Their chemistry grew week after week, culminating in an engagement that Bachelor Nation celebrated as a fairy tale ending. But as the dust settles and the cameras fade, whispers are swirling about whether Chock's unshakable faith in Joan might be his Achilles heel. Joan Vassos is, without question, a captivating figure. At 62, she exudes a vibrant energy that's part Hollywood glamour, part girl-next-door charm. Yet beneath her glittering exterior lies a labyrinth of complexities. Joan has lived a storied life, filled with highs and lows that have molded her into the woman she is today. While her resilience and tenacity are admirable, they've also raised questions about her ability to fully commit and her motives for joining the show in the first place. Joan's past has been a topic of intrigue throughout the season. From her candid revelations about her 2 previous marriages to her on-again, off-again flirtation with a high-profile restaurateur, she's never shied away from acknowledging her colorful romantic history. But with each revelation, Chock's steadfast belief in their connection has only grown. She's lived, she's learned, and she's chosen me, he's often said, flashing his trademark grin. It's a sentiment that's both heartwarming and perhaps a little naive. One of the most concerning aspects of their relationship is Joan's tendency to gloss over uncomfortable truths. During hometown dates, Chock's family expressed reservations about Joan's transparency. His sister, Marie, pointedly asked Joan about the timeline of her last breakup, to which Joan responded with a vague, "It's been long enough." The answer left Marie unconvinced, and her concerns echoed those of many viewers who've noticed Joan's skill at sidestepping pointed questions. Chock, however, remains unfazed. His trust in Joan borders on blind devotion, a quality that's both endearing and potentially perilous. It's worth noting that Chock's unwavering trust isn't a new trait. Friends from his hometown describe him as the eternal optimist, someone who always sees the best in people. While this outlook has served him well in friendships and professional relationships, it's also led to heartbreak in his romantic life. One ex-girlfriend, speaking anonymously, revealed that Chock's tendency to ignore red flags ultimately doomed their relationship. "He's a wonderful man," she said, "but sometimes he trusts too much, too soon." Joan, for her part, seems to genuinely care for Chock. Her affection appears sincere, and she's spoken openly about how his kindness and steady presence have been a balm for her often chaotic life. But caring and compatibility are not always synonymous, and Joan's history suggests a pattern of pursuing excitement over stability. Bachelor Nation remembers the bombshell revelation during Week 7. Joan admitted that she'd reconnected with an old flame just months before filming began. While she assured Chock that the relationship was over, skeptics questioned whether she had fully closed that chapter. Adding another layer of complexity is the fact that Joan has become something of a media darling since the show wrapped. Her social media following has exploded, and she's reportedly fielding offers for book deals, brand partnerships, and even a spin-off series. While there's nothing inherently wrong with capitalizing on newfound fame, it does raise questions about her priorities. Is Joan more invested in her relationship with Chock or in the opportunities that come with being a reality TV star? Chock, ever the gentleman, has brushed off such concerns. In a recent interview, he dismissed speculation about Joan's motives as tabloid nonsense. "Joan and I know what we have," he said. "We're building a life together, and that's all that matters." His confidence is admirable, but it's hard to ignore the parallels to past Bachelor and Bachelorette alums who faced similar scrutiny, and whose relationships ultimately crumbled under the weight of outside pressures. Perhaps the most telling moment of the season came during the finale's live after-show. Host Jess Palmer asked Joan whether she felt ready to settle down after years of living life on her own terms. Joan hesitated, her characteristic composure faltering for just a moment. "I think love is always a leap of faith," she said, her voice measured but not entirely convincing. Chock, seated beside her, didn't seem to notice the subtle shift in her tone, but viewers certainly did. Social media lit up with speculation, with many fans interpreting her response as a veiled admission of doubt.